I think we're unique in the fact we got a First Amendment, you got a right to protest. But I also believe as well that right to protest doesn't mean that you can shut down the school or cancel classes. And if you break the law, I think the law needs to be enforced. I think from a kind of a macro standpoint, if you look back on October 7th, it was horrific. I do think Israel frankly made a mistake of not, the videos I've seen, I wish they would have released them more widespread, because it felt like the horrificness of that event faded as the horrificness of, Israel bombing of across Gaza took preeminence. I would argue that a couple of things. One, I think we, the Israelis, I think the Sunni Arab states, and I was in Jordan and Saudi Arabia and Israel in January, thought that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, would be more successful. We're 202 days in or 203 days in, and latest guesstimates are that Israel's only eliminated about 40-45% of Hamas fighters, and literally only penetrated about 40 or 45% of the tunnel network. So they've been much more resistant than expected. And I think for a while there, the thought that Israel was this much militarily more superior, they lost a little of that image. I think there was a moment, as President Biden said, take the win, but I think even broader than that, I think when Iran launched the missile strike, and we and the Israelis, with our help, but also with British, French, Jordanian, and Saudi help, took down 99.9% of those missiles. There was a moment. It was both reestablishing Israel's military primacy, but it was also a moment that demonstrated that Israel is stronger with allies. The fact that the Jordanians, the Brits, the French, the Saudis, they are not going to continue to help if this war in Gaza continues. So can we get the hostages back? I mean, one of the, Rachel and John, Poland, who, they lived in Richmond for years, and I've kind of gotten to know, they're a remarkable family. This is the family, that's almost always on TV or in Time magazine. The fact that there's evidence that their son who lost his arm on October 7th is still alive. I think, the moment to try even harder on of getting hostages back and trying to bring the conflict to an end. I don't know how, and I feel like Israel almost doesn't, because Israel, I think, has been still in somewhat of a shell-shocked position post-October 7th. I'm not sure that all Israelis really appreciate how much loss of support that's happening, around the world, and frankly amongst a generation of young Americans.